Hello, I am Eviros. Welcome to our first knowledge operations guide for 8-man Kephess the Undying from the hard mode Terror from Beyond operation. We completed this fight with 2 healers, 2 tanks, 2 ranged DPS, and 2 melee DPS. In phase 1, Kephess will cast Overcharge on the player with the highest threat. You want this to be your tank. In our case, we chose our Shadow tank. Kephess has lightning coming from his suit when he's charging the ability, and the targeted player will also glow with energy. Overcharge deals damage over time to this player and nearby players. Kephess will also ignore this player while the effect persists, and the affected player will get an increase in run speed. The player can remove this debuff by running into the Hypergate Void, which is the lightning effect on the ground. We had our Shadow tank take all of the Overcharge debuffs, as they have 4 speed to get to the Hypergate Void the fastest. To do this, we just had our Shadow tank pick up Kephess at the start of the fight. As soon as he gets the Overcharge debuff, our Vanguard tank taunts Kephess. Once the Shadow tank has returned from clearing his Overcharge debuff, he then once again taunts Kephess back, and you just rinse and repeat. Another mechanic you have to deal with in phase 1 are energy distortions. They spawn in random locations in the room, generally towards the center. They are glowing sparks with a white circle at their base. They will latch on to the nearest player and deal damage to them. Only that player will be able to deal damage back at them and kill them. It is best to have ranged DPS stand towards the center of the room to clean up these distortions, while everyone else stays near Kephess to avoid getting targeted. Kephess will get linked to a nearby Hypergate control tower. Tanks should move reasonably close to the tower. Kephess will then target a player with Focused Laser Blast. This deals a high amount of damage to the targeted player and must be healed through. Shields really help for this part. The targeted player must face the laser blast in the direction of the active tower. Sage pools can help get players to the tower in time. Once Focused Laser Blast is finished channeling, the tower will break and this will knock Kephess to the ground. He'll now be vulnerable and take extra damage. Save high damage abilities for this period. There is no other ops damage, so even healers can throw in some damaging abilities if they have the resources. Phase 1 ends with Kephess jumping into the air, and Phase 2 begins when Kephess lands in the center of the room. Waves of Lego move out from the center. They are simple to avoid and deal very little damage, pretty much a non-mechanic. Phase 2 is not actually difficult, but it's really easy to panic. You have to deal with a whole new set of mechanics. The main mechanic is Corrupted Nanites. Kephess says, "Rah! Die, 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 die," and puts Corrupted Nanites on a player. They will also receive a marker above their head. The Corrupted Nanite stacks will increase over time. This will increase the amount of periodic damage the player will take. 4 stacks is pretty much death. Corrupted Nanites allows debuffed players to interact with the Hypergate control tower. Interacting with the tower will both remove the debuff and bring the tower down, stunning Kephess much like in phase 1. You must wait till multiple players have the debuff before you interact with the tower, as you have a limit of 4 towers for this phase. Tanks should drag Kephess near a tower of their own choice, and once players are debuffed with nanites, they should stand near the tower. Once your chosen number of players have the debuff, they must click the tower and begin channeling. Once all players see each other channeling, they can step away, breaking the channel. Once the last person breaks the channel, the tower will come down, knocking Kephess down like in phase 1, and he will again take extra damage for an extended period of time.
For the first tower, we wait for 2 players to have the Corrupted Nanites debuff. For the next 2 towers, we usually wait for 3, though we have done 4 in the past. For the 4th tower, you need to knock it down when Kephess is as close to 10% as possible. This will allow you to push Kephess below 10% before he transitions. You're going to want to have all remaining players with the Nanites debuff click the final tower, as there is no way to remove them in phase 3. Kephess transitions at 10%. Beware of Kephess's Dread Bomb ability. If he leaps while you're trying to click a tower, he won't get stunned.
The last 2 abilities in phase 2 are easy. Dread Bomb targets a random player and Kephess leaps to that player, dealing high damage. The other ability is Radioactive Barrage. It starts from a random point in the room and travels towards the player, forming a line. Anyone who makes contact with that line will take damage. Phase 3 is a burn phase. Kephess grows large, he becomes stationary and untankable. He has 2 abilities in this phase, Fury of the Masters, a soft enrage mechanic which deals around 1.6k damage every second till Kephess is dead, and volatile emissions, orange circles that deal over 5k damage per hit. Casters will find it tough in this phase, as there is a lot of movement. You can get lucky and not get targeted, however you can get unlucky. As you can see in the video, every time I try and cast, I get targeted and end up dying. But because we transitioned correctly, it didn't really matter, we already had the boss killed. Thank you for watching our hard mode Kephess the Undying boss guide. We hope it helps. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. If you follow this guide with a competent operations team, you shouldn't have too many problems with this boss. Please subscribe to our First Knowledge Gaming channel for other game guides and videos. I am Eviros, and good luck with Terror from Beyond.